Hi guys, and welcome to day one. Today we have a 30-minute lower body burn. We do have ankle weights as an optional add-on, so these are optional. You can still do the class even if you don't have them. If you want to pop them on, you can. If you don't, also fine. If we want to remove them at any point, also fine. Do not feel that you have to stick with them just because we've committed from the beginning. Just move with your own body, use your intuition as to whether you want to keep them on or not. So if we are going to add ankle weights, we're just going to start by adding them now before we get started. Just popping them around the ankles. And then when we're ready, we're going to come into a cross-legged position. Just bringing the hands onto the knees, closing down the eyes, just lengthening through the spine, sending the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and just dropping the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Just finding the flow of your own breath. Taking a moment to arrive on the mat. And on that next inhale, we're going to take the hands, placing them either side of the rib cage. You're going to take a deep inhale through the nose, feel that chest expand, the rib cage open up. And on the exhale, think of closing through that rib cage. Inhale, we open into the chest. And exhale, closing the ribs. So each exhale, I want you to think about sliding that rib cage closer towards the hips. Closing that space between them. Helping to engage through the core. Just find 3 more breaths like this. Last 2. And 1 more like this. And when you're ready, just blinking those eyes open. We allow the arms to drop down to the side of the body. We're going to slowly slide that left forearm out towards the mat, just sending the right arm overhead, anchoring the right seat bone into the ground. And inhale, we come through center. Exhale, we slide that right forearm, just sending that left arm overhead. Just finding 1 more each side. Inhale to come through center. And exhale to fold. And once more, inhale, moving through center, and exhale to fold. Slowly coming all the way back through seated. We're going to shift our weight round into a 4-point kneel. So we're going to bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Those knees are stacked directly underneath the hips. From here, I want you to think about drawing the stomach closer towards the ceiling. So just making sure that we're not arching through that lower back. We keep drawing the core up towards the ribs. Slight bend through the elbows, taking the pressure off those wrists. From here, we take an inhale. We send that left leg long. Exhale, we draw the knee back underneath, keeping that knee hovered. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to close. Good. So think about keeping the ribs nice and closed, even as that leg lengthens away. Exhale to draw the knee in. Good. We're here for 8. For 7. We add on in 6. In 5. In 4. In 3. Last 2. and 1. We keep that leg extended. From here, we inhale, we tap the leg down to the mat, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. If anybody has any wrist problems or any shoulder problems, I just want you to drop down onto the forearms for this part, just keeping that core lifted. Good. If not, we're still on those hands. We find length through the toes. Think about lengthening out of that hip. Good. We add on again in 4. That leg stays lifted in 3, in 2, in 1. This leg stays lifted. We flex at the foot, drawing the heel in towards the bum. Inhale, we lengthen that leg long. Exhale to squeeze the heel in. Inhale to lengthen. Good. We're here for another 8. First 7. First 6. First 5. That heel stays in 4. In 3. In 2. In 1. From here, we drop down onto that right forearm. Left hand comes either on top of the palm or underneath the right palm. From here, we tap that knee down to the ground. Exhale, we send it all the way up. So think about keeping that foot nice and flat. Keep pushing through the heel. Keep engaging through the core. Do not let that stomach drop down to the ground. Keep lifting. We're here for 8. First 7. Good, guys. First 6. First 5. We keep that knee lifted in 4. In 3. In 2. In 1. We keep this knee lifted. We send that leg nice and long, finding length through the toes. We're going to sweep the leg around to the side. Good. Think about lifting it up and over, keeping that leg at hip height as it comes behind. Good. Exhale to sweep that leg forward and inhale to send it behind. Good. We're here for 8. First 7. First 6. First 5. Last 4. Leg stays lengthened behind in 3, in 2, in 1. We keep this leg lengthened behind tiny circles to the right. We're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We reverse. First 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly dropping that knee down, just push back into a child's pose. Just take a moment to reset. And slowly coming back onto the hands, we're staying on that same side. We're going to drop down again onto that right forearm, opening through the hips. This time I want you to think about opening this hip on top of the right leg. So keeping that leg nice and connected. We inhale, we tap the leg down to the ground. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Now, options to have the hand on the side of the waist, option to have the hand on the floor, or option to extend the arm nice and long. Good. We're here for 8. First 7. First 6, first 5, first 4, keep that core engaged, last 3, we stay lifted in 2, in 1. From here, hand comes back down to the mat, we draw the knee and elbow to meet, inhale to lengthen, exhale to close. Good, so think about squeezing through that left oblique as that knee comes forward. Good, keep finding length out of that hip. We're here for 8. First 7. First 6. for 5, last 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to come back up onto the hands, keeping this leg lifted. We send the toes down to the ground, just tucking them. We pike through this right knee, drawing it up towards the chest. We send this knee down to the ground. We float the leg back up. As it drops down, we pike that knee up. Good. We're here for 8. For 7. For 6. For 5. For 4. We're going to stay in that pike in 3. In 2. Stay lifted in 1. We pulse that knee into the chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just drop into the knees. Just push back into that child's pose. Allow the chest to drop down to the mat. Just taking a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Just bringing that heart rate back down. Really good. And when you're ready, we're going to shift that weight forwards. We're going to come onto that other side. So staying in that 4-point kneel, we take an inhale. We send that right leg long, finding length out of that hip joint. Exhale, we draw that knee back under, keeping it hovered off the ground. Good. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to close. Good. Now I just want you to check in with that rib cage, keeping the ribs nice and closed. Keep lifting through the lower parts of the stomach. I want you to imagine you've got a corset wrapped around the waist. We're keeping the whole center of the body nice and tight. Good. We're here for another 4. Slight bend through those elbows for 3, for 2, for 1. We keep that leg extended. From here, we tap the toes down to the ground. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Good. Just remembering if anybody has any shoulder or wrist problems, just dropping down onto those forearms, making sure that we're keeping that core nice and lifted. Just taking the pressure off the arms. If not, we're still on those hands. Slight bend through the elbow. Good. We're here for 4. For 3. That leg stays lifted in 2. In 1. From here, we squeeze that heel in towards the bum. Inhale, we send that leg long. Exhale, we squeeze that heel in. Inhale to lengthen. Good. Keep that knee lifted. Keep thinking of drawing the core up towards the spine. Good. We're here for 8. For 7. For 6. For 5. For 4. Last 3. For 2. And 1. We keep that leg extended. We drop down onto that left forearm. Right hand comes on top or below that left hand. We find length through this leg. We sweep the leg round to the side of the body. We send it behind. Good. We're here for 8. For 7. For 6. Last 5. For 4. We find circles in 3. In 2. In 1. This leg comes behind. We find tiny circles to the left. We're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And reverse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just dropping that knee back to the ground, just pushing back into a child's pose. Just take a moment to reset. And this time, as we lift onto that 4-point kneel, coming back onto the forearm, we send that right leg nice and long, opening the hips out towards the side. Inhale, we tap the leg down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Now remember, options have the hand on the ground. The hand can be on the waist, or options to lengthen the arm overhead. Good. We're here for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, last 4. Leg stays lifted in 3, in 2, in 1. We drop this right hand back down to the ground. We sweep the elbow down and the knee to meet. Inhale to send that leg behind. Exhale to close. Good. Keep lifting through the core as we draw this knee in. Really good. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, last 2, and 1. Send this leg behind. Coming back onto the hands, we're going to drop the right toes down to the ground. We're going to pike the left knee up to the chest. Good. We drop that knee back down. We untuck the toes. This leg comes up to hip height. Inhale, we drop that leg. Exhale, press the mat away. Good. Just making sure as we swing this leg up, do not arch into this lower back. We lift with control. We lower with control. Good. Really connecting to that body. Good. We just have 6 more of these. For 5. We meet in that pike in 4. In 3. In 2. Last 1. As that leg comes down to the ground, we pike that knee up to the chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just dropping down into a child's pose. Just lengthening the arms nice and long. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Just bringing that heart rate back down. Really good. And slowly making our way back onto our bum. We're going to come onto our backs. Feet are going to be flat on the ground. So we're going to press both arms firmly into the mat, down by the side of the body. Feet and knees are hip distance apart. Feet are stacked directly underneath the knees. So just making sure that we're not having to stretch, keeping the ankle directly underneath that knee. We're going to get ready to come into a spinal articulation. So before we come into our glute bridge, we're going to press through the arms. I want you to think about tilting that tailbone back, pressing the lower back into the ground. As we connect with that lower back, we peel the tailbone up off the ground, lifting bone by bone until we reach the top. Good. Just holding here for a moment. And on the inhale, we sink through the top of the ribs first, then the middle part of the back, then the lower back, and then the tailbone. Good, so think about rippling through that spine. We lift on that exhale, super duper slow and controlled. Inhale to lower. So think about lifting and lowering a string of beads. As you lift, one bead will lift, then the next, then the next. And as we lower, one bead will hit the table first, and then they will slowly all follow. Good, just find 2 more here like this. Good, last one. Really good. From here, we're going to meet in that bridging position. So this time as we lift, I want you to think about keeping the back nice and straight. All of the bones are connected as one. We drive through the heels, we press through the hands. We squeeze the glutes as we lift up, keeping everything connected. At the top, I want you now just to check in with that rib cage. I don't want you to think about flaring through the front of the body. Keep thinking of closing that space between the ribs and the hips, whilst also keeping those hips lifted. Really good. So we're going to come through 5 of these. Inhale, we tap the bum onto the ground. Exhale, we drive through the heels. Good. Inhale to lower. And exhale to lift. Good. We're just here for 3 more like this. For 2. Last one. Good. Next time that we lift, we keep those hips lifted. We float both heels off the ground. We tap the heels back down and we reset onto the mat. Good. So exhale to drive through the heels. We float both heels off the ground. Heels tap back onto the mat and we lower. Good. We're here for 8. Good. For 7. Last 6. Good. Those hips are going to stay lifted in 5. In 4. Good. Keep tucking that tailbone under for 3. Good. Hips stay lifted in 2. In 1, hips stay lifted. We float both heels off the ground. We tap them back down. We're here for 8. For 7. For 6. Last 5. For 4. Hips stay lifted in 3. In 2. In 1, hips stay lifted, heels come onto the ground. We're going to send that right arm overhead, lengthening through the fingers. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to draw that left knee into tabletop. We're going to press that right hand into the top of the thigh. Inhale, toes tap back down as the arm comes overhead. Good. So exhale, we come into tabletop, press the hand into the thigh, and inhale to lower. Good. Keep driving through that right heel. We're here for another 6. For 5. For 4. Keep those hips lifted. Last 3. Hips stay lifted in 2. In 1, keep that leg in tabletop, hand comes back down to the ground. We lengthen through the left toes. We take an inhale, we sweep the knees down in line with one another. Good. Exhale, we sweep that leg back up. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Keep driving through that right heel. Really good. We're here for 5. For 4. For 3. Keep those toes to the ceiling in 2. In 1, toes come up to the ceiling. We halfway dip the hips. We're here for 8. First 7. Last 6. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Just lower all the way onto the back. Just hug that right knee into the chest. Just circle through that hip. Just loosen off through the back of that hamstring. And then just sending that right leg long. Just drawing that left knee up to the chest as well. Just circling through that hip. Really good. And we're going to plant both feet back onto the ground. We're going to come straight onto that other side. So we press both arms firmly into the mat. We come all the way from the top again. So we take an inhale. Exhale, we lift into that glute bridge. Keep driving through both heels. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Good. We're here for 8. First 7. First 6. Last 5. We float those heels in 4. In 3. In 2. In 1. Next time the hips lift, they stay lifted. We float both heels off the ground. We tap them back down as that back resets. Good. We're here for 8. Got a clicky foot. First 7. First 6. Good. These hips stay lifted in 5. Last 4. For 3. Good. Keep driving through those heels as we lift. This is our last one. We keep those hips lifted. We float the heels off the ground. We tap them back down. We lift and we lower. We're here for 8. First 7. Good. Keep closing the space between the ribs and the hips. Good. Keeping those hips lifted for 4. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Both heels tap down to the ground. We send that left arm overhead. Keep driving through that left heel. We float the right leg into tabletop. As we bring that left arm in, we press that hand into the thigh. Inhale, toes tap down. Exhale to lift. Good. Inhale to lower. And exhale to lift. Keep driving through that right forearm. We're here for another 6. For 5. For 4. Good. Keep driving through that left heel for 3. Last 2. And 1. That leg stays in tabletop. Both arms come down to the mat. We send that right leg up to the ceiling, driving through that left heel. We sweep this right leg down, knees come in line with another. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Good. We're here for 8. For 7. For 6. For 5. Keep driving through that left heel for 4. For 3. Toes come up to the ceiling in 2. In 1. We halfway dip the hips for 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lowering all the way down to the mat, just drawing that left knee closer to the body. Just stretching through the back of that hamstring, through that hip, just giving that leg a circle. Really good, guys. Drawing that right knee into the chest, just circling through that hip. Good, and just sending that right leg long again. We're going to draw that left knee in towards the body. We're going to send that left leg nice and long, just stretching into the hamstring, maybe circling through the ankle. And when you're ready, just dropping that left ankle on top of that right knee. You're going to take hold behind that right knee, just drawing it closer towards the body. Maybe pushing that left knee away, just helping to stretch into the side of the glute. And slowly uncrossing the legs, we're going to send that right leg up towards the ceiling, just stretching through the hamstring, circling through the ankle. We're going to drop the ankle on top of that left knee, just threading the arms behind the thigh, drawing that left knee closer to the body. Maybe pushing that right knee away with the right hand. And when you're ready, taking hold behind both thighs, we're going to rock through the length of the spine 3 times. And on that third one, just crossing the legs over, just coming to face the front of the mat. We're going to slide that left arm out to the side, just allowing the right arm to come overhead, just stretching through the side of the body. And inhale, we're going to sweep through center, just finding length through the arms. We come all the way round to the right side. Just anchoring that left seat bone into the ground. And slowly coming back through center. Just closing down the eyes. We take an inhale, arms come overhead. And exhale, let them go. Inhale, arms come overhead. And exhale, let them go. One more inhale, arms come overhead. Palms come to meet at the top. We draw the hands through heart space, just bowing the head to the hands, taking a moment to appreciate this time spent for ourselves, for moving our bodies. Well done everybody for moving your body, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.